Well, it's Wednesday the 5th of June and the time's about 10 to 1, 12:50 p.m. Normally do a vlog walking around, but I thought I would change it a bit because I'm having a rough few days and I thought it was important to share the bad with the good, because part of the journey is working on the bad times to get to the good times. So I'll get to that in just a minute. Just to let you know, I have done my walk today. I've already done it without filming, without distracting myself too much, other than to write down my scores and my heart rate and everything. And I walked around the cul-de-sac, and it's fair to say that I'm okay. I'm okay doing that now, I think. I even said hello to a chap doing his garden, which I thought I ought to try, and it was okay. It didn't hurt. So just glossing over that, I gave myself a score of 5 before I walked. 6 during. Obviously, that was just as I spoke to the chap doing his garden. And then I put myself as a 5. My heart rate stayed pretty constant. It spiked a little bit during, but nothing untoward. So, getting on to how I feel, and this, I'm assuming, is going to be similar. Maybe not the same, but there are going to be things that other people can relate to. I'm currently feeling very burnt out. My sleeping is going funny again. My appetite is increasing for some reason. I can't explain why. Just my meal times are becoming larger. That's not a good thing considering all the weight I have lost, so I'm just gonna have to just bear that in mind and be mindful of that. Getting very moody, very easily irritable and irritated. It's I haven't been like this for a long time. My patience starts to dwindle with people. My gran would say I have the patience of a saint. When I'm starting to go into these phases where I'm burning myself out because I'm not getting as much rest as I possibly need, because I'm not looking after myself, maybe speaking up for myself, then it does bad things to me. I know Karine has she has a lot on with dealing with the kids and me. But I've got to look after myself, and I can feel it brewing inside. And I say it, I talk about meltdowns and things. I've just, if you've got no common sense in anything you're telling me, or no logic, just boom. It's just gonna go boom, and you won't get a warning shot. You won't get the heads up. It'll just blow up right there and then. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if your intentions were good. If you're not coming at me with common sense and logic when I'm feeling like this, it's bad. I struggle with most things, as you know, anyway, when it comes to emotion. So emotion it's out the window completely. The one saving grace is when I am like this, I tend to do lots of housework. I don't know why, if it's my way of subconsciously distracting myself from how I'm feeling, from the inevitable. I don't really know, and that's what I thought. I'd record it and make a sort of a video entry for this, because I've not really recorded one pre-meltdown or pre-build up to a meltdown. I mean, who knows what will happen if I do have a meltdown. I'm not physical with my meltdowns. I get verbal. I'm very loud. I'm shouting and screaming and getting upset. Hysterical, I guess you could say. In the last 12 months or so, I've probably had 3 meltdowns. I think that's because I'm becoming more aware of my own self and my own needs. I still forget about them sometimes. I don't like them because I have 3 young children, and they don't need to see that. But I know it's going to happen at some point, and Corrine has to shelter them very quickly from me. The best thing anyone can do when I have my meltdowns, or when anyone has a meltdown, is just make sure that the environment that the person is in is safe, and there's nothing around them that could potentially cause harm. Anything could cause harm, I suppose, in the meltdown, if the person is so inclined. That's not to say it's going to be used, you know. I've hit wardrobes and walls and things before and hurt myself doing it. It doesn't make me feel any better. It doesn't make me feel any worse. It's just something that I've done. But I tend to get very, very shouty and uncontrollably shouty. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. I can't always remember what happens during them. I often ask whoever's around me afterwards. I just ask them what happened, or what did I say. All I can do is apologize to the individual or individuals, whether that's my children or Corrine or my mom, whoever. It's not easy trying to fend off a potential meltdown. It's very difficult. It takes a lot out of you, because I find I have to distract myself a lot. I have to stay extremely busy. That might seem counterproductive, but if I can't distract myself from how I'm feeling, it just bubbles away, and it just explodes. And this is all part of me learning, and for anyone that does watch this, it's the same. You know, you've got to learn your triggers, and you've also got to learn your coping strategies as well, and you've got to educate those that are around you, that spend the time with you. You've got to educate those people in how you need to be looked after before, during, and after, because you might find that the meltdown is inevitable. You might do everything within your power to stop the meltdown, but it could still happen. That's okay. Let it happen. If it's got to happen, sometimes they can be for the best. If you've got a lot of pressure, a lot of anxieties, a lot of worries building up, it's got to go somewhere. Talking it out doesn't always work, and sometimes you just need that release. I've had that a couple of times, and it's the only way that I've been able to get that release is by allowing the meltdown to happen. And as I say, you can't plan for it. It's just going to happen. You've just got to say to yourself, it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I can feel it brewing. Tell people around you that it's happening, that's where you're at. They can put provisions in place so that, you know, maybe you're not on your own for any length of time. Maybe someone checks in on you every so often. You know, maybe you check in with someone else, and if you don't, because you're in the middle of a meltdown, that person knows that, oh, and this so-and-so should have checked in with me by now. I'll go and see if they're okay. You know, come up with strategies that work best with yourself. It won't always work. As I say, it's not fail-safe. It's not a given, but it's something, and it gives you the opportunity, the person with ASD who's struggling, it gives you that opportunity to feel some reassurance that even if the proverbial hits the fan, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You will recover from it. You will bounce back, and you'll be back to your old self, laughing, smiling, joking, I hope. And people will say, thank God that's over, but you'll say, I'm waiting for another one. But the only thing you can do is live the best you can and the most positive way that you can. Keep people in the loop by talking to them. Let them in. I think that's the key. Let them in. Meltdowns are nasty, and they can be very hurtful to both parties, those around the person who's having the meltdown and for the person with. Never hold it against the person that's having the meltdown. Never hold that against them, because it's not their fault. They didn't choose to be like that. They didn't choose to have that meltdown. Sensory overload, anything could have triggered it, you know. Meltdowns can come from anywhere. But if you understand your triggers and those that are around you understand them, you can vastly reduce them. That's what I've done. I've had to learn where I go wrong, and for me, I have to have a break from the kids, because kids are kids and they make silly noises and sounds, and I struggled when Rosie was very young baby, I should say. The noise of a baby irritated me really bad, so I had to keep having breaks, and that may sound cruel or heartless. It's not. It's just you can't help what triggers you off anymore. You know, sights, sounds, you know, feeling different things, anything. There's so many sensory things that can trigger a meltdown. Just take a moment, think about what it is that makes you go bang, and talk to people. That's my best advice. Talk. If you can't talk to people around you, you know you can come to me. I might not be able to help directly, but I can maybe give some advice. I can maybe help you find a solution. My aim here isn't to preach. It's not to teach either. It's just to show that anyone with ASD can have these issues, but you can work through it, and you can do your best with other people's help to mitigate a lot of the issues that trigger you off. So I've got a busy week coming up, and I know that I'm going to need every bit of rest I can, which crowded people for any length of time, by the way, trigger me off, which gets me on to the weekend. Well, start off with, to be fair, let's start Thursday. I have shopping with my gran and a hospital visit the following day with my gran, so that's a busy place. Then on the Saturday, I've got a friend's barbecue at his house. I'm not sure how many people are going to be there. I don't believe it's going to be too many, but again, there's going to be a few people there. Our family's going as well. Noises, unknown noises as well. I know he has children of all ages. And then the weekend on Sunday is RAF Cosford Air Show. Now you can imagine how busy that is, and I am both looking forward to it and I am both petrified as well, because I know that I will be okay during most of the day, but when it gets to sort of mid-afternoon, I am going to start struggling. And unless I am distracting myself so much with my children, with photography, with my mom and Karina are coming as well, so I've just got to tell them on the day if I'm starting to struggle. But I want to enjoy it. As I say, I know I've got a busy week, but I'm aware this is me planning. This is me understanding that I've got these things coming up. So I will take as much rest as I can in between doing all these things. I will try and get to bed, and even if I can't sleep, I can come and sit on my computer for a while. I will always try and go to sleep where I can. But I guess the moral of the story really of today, the one thing to take away is just be honest with yourself and with those around you, and if they don't like it, that's not your fault, that's theirs. But be honest with them, tell them where you're struggling, tell them where they can improve, maybe on their support for you, because at the end of the day, your condition isn't going away. You can learn to live with it better, you can learn to manage it better, but it's never going away. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to see more of this, Lord knows why, but if you do, please click on the subscribe button down below and drop me some comments. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. And a big shout out to Brian while I'm here from his Facebook group. Brian, you're a star. Thank you for being such a good friend to me and giving me the opportunities to publish live content on your page as well. I really appreciate it, and I will sign out for now and see you all soon. Thank you for watching.